Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Hannover Fair Indonesian Pavilion to 2023. Today we have a discussion from the interesting speaker. So let me call first. The first speaker is Mr. Ali Murtopo. Bapak Mr. Ali Murtopo, please come to, join to the stage. And then the second one is Mr. Muhammad Fajri. Mr. Muhammad Fajri. Giving applause to our speaker. And then the third one is Mr. Daniel. The last one and not for the least, Mr. Sasha, please join the stage. So before we start with the first speaker, Mr. Ali Murtopo, I will be read all the resume or CV from the all speaker in the state. The first one is Mr. Ali Murtopo Simbolon. Currently, Mr. Ali Murtopo Simbolon is in charge for the Deputy for Trade and Industry Coordination of the Coordinating Minister of Economic Affairs. Previously, he held position as Director of Electronic and Telematic Industry of Minister of Industry. And then for the second speaker, Mr. Muhammad Fajri Rashid, currently he is in charge for the Director of Digital Business of Telkom. Previously, he is the co-founder and the president of Bukalapak, one of the unicorn in Indonesia. And then the third one is Mr. Daniel Suryananta. Right now in charge as the Vice President of PT Akebono Break Astra Indonesia. This company will be try to become one of global lighthouse World Economic Forum in 2023. The last one, the fourth speaker is Mr. Sasha Mainel, is a Senior Director of Siemens Factory Automation Cell for the Asia Pacific. I read all the resume that and discussed the last one. I think all the life is started from the Siemens until now, and then he started the role since the 2014, and then more than 20 years of business development. Before in Asia Pacific, he in charge for the India market and then for the Libya market. So maybe we can continue for the speaker, Mr. Ali Murtopo, please. The stage is on yours.
Thank you, moderator. Very good morning for us. First, I would like to express my greatest appreciation to all of Indonesia Committee at Hannover Messe 2023. It's an honor for me to be part of this biggest yearly international trade show. Hopefully, this event will offer a great opportunity to gain better economic growth for all parties. Ladies and gentlemen, in the year 2022, the global economy has experienced tenacious threat from multiple shocks and is currently still filled with uncertainty. But Indonesia economy had impressive growth in 2022 as it reached 5.3%, the highest growth in the last decade. Observing the global challenge and the implementation of policy, the target of economic growth in 2023 will optimist increase at 5.3% and remain high at the level of 5.3 until 5.7 in 2024. One of the strategies to achieve economic growth is fostering economic transformation. The optimism in 2023 is driven by the increase in the economic activity of Indonesia trade partner in every region. The government of Indonesia has also enacted the law on job creation and evaluate the body of government regulation number 5 of 2021 on simplifying regulation and procedure for easy of doing business. using the implementation of risk-based business licensing. Online single submission risk-based approach system is implemented to facilitate business licensing based on the level of risk and scale of business activities. The manufacturing industry is the backbone of the national economy and is expected to bring great leverage in terms of competitiveness and its contribution to Indonesia GDP. The initiative Making Indonesia 4.0 provide an opportunity to revitalize manufacturing, the vision of Indonesia to be one of the 10 countries with the biggest economy in the world. The implementation of Making Indonesia 4.0 result in increasing GDP grow by 1 to 2% annually, adding more than 10 million job creation and increasing manufacturing contribution to the GDP by over 25% in 2030. There are 7 priority sectors, namely food and beverage, textile and apparel, automotive, electronic, chemical, pharmaceutical, and medical device industry. This sector represents contribution 70% GDP of national industry, 65% industry export, and 60% of industrial worker. In line with the readiness of industry toward Industry 4.0, in 2022, there were 15 industries which have already implemented. 209 industries have maximum readiness, which means ready to implement Industry 4.0. And 419 industries have moderate readiness. Furthermore, there are 13 industries as national lighthouse, as well as 2 industries as the global lighthouse. According to President's statement delivered this forum yesterday, strategy of economic transformation is downstream industry policy. The development of mineral-based downstream industry is very potential to increase commodity value add. Nowadays, Indonesia focus on developing mineral-based downstreaming industries, including nickel, bauxite, tin, silica sand, oil, natural gas, coal, and other critical natural resources. To implement this policy, total investment $545.3 billion is required. And then Indonesia has committed to achieve net zero emission by 2060 through the national energy transition. Our government is currently striving to expand the national energy transition by reducing the use of fossil fuel and developing renewable energy-based power plant, for instance, wind turbine or solar panel. Indonesia required a total $1 trillion or 28 billion per annum in investment of power plant and transmission infrastructure in energy sector to achieve these goals. Indonesia also consider hydrogen as renewable energy. Therefore, according to President direction, Indonesia will come to mutual cooperation for this energy transition. The new normal become a crucial momentum for Indonesia to recover and ensure a well-performed digital transformation. Economic transformation through digital economy will support inclusive and sustainable development of industry by increasing small medium enterprise participation in global value chain. There are 4 popular sectors in digital economy, which are e-commerce, transport and food, online travel, and online media. In 2022, e-commerce transaction value in Indonesia rose amount to 476.3 trillion rupiah, equal $31.7 billion and approximately 18.7% compared to last year. Our government currently is collaborating with the stakeholders to amplify small medium enterprise digital ecosystem, and we expect over 30 million small medium enterprise will be joined this ecosystem in 2024. Economic transformation cannot be separate from the reliability of national logistics. Our government has designed a blueprint for the development of national logistic ecosystem, which intend to bring all logistic stakeholders into online integrated platform. Currently, there are more than 10 types of available service that have been implemented in 14 seaports that have significant export and import value since 2020 and will be extended into 32 seaport and 6 airport nationally in 2023 until 2024. The implementation of national logistic ecosystem reduce cost and time process. Indonesia is making continuous improvement to achieve logistic performance index that equally with other countries in ASEAN, China, Korea, and Japan. Soon, Indonesia will enter the peak of demographic bonus in 2030. The high number of productive workers will be beneficial for Indonesia to get out of the middle income trap. Several strategies are pursued by the government to optimize the benefit of demographic bonus, such as enforce industry-oriented skill, vocational, encourage women participation in the labor force and small medium enterprise, develop infrastructure and manufacturing industries. Ladies and gentlemen, as the official partner country at Hannover Messe 2023, Indonesia has stepped forward to realize Indonesia's vision that is being included in the top 10 country with the strongest economies in the world by 2030. Through the Hannover Messe 2023, Indonesia will showcase several industry technology 4.0 and investment opportunity in the industrial sector. We are optimistic that Hannover Messe 2023 will inspire and encourage participants to embrace limitless opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ali Murtopo, for the complete description about the economic of Indonesia. As Indonesian people, this is give me optimistic that how we can face it for the future. That I hope that the audience in here have the capture the same value that already described by Mr. Ali Murtopo. That Indonesia already maintain the high growth of the economic until 27 is very complete. Thank you, Mr. Ali Murtopo. And then we will go to the second speaker, Mr. Muhammad Fajrin. Please, Muhammad Fajrin, the time and state is on yours.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator and fellow speakers, audiences, especially Germans and Indonesian business communities. It is my honor here to share the stories about Indonesia digital ecosystem and how our company, Telkom Indonesia, contributes to that towards world-class enterprise. My name is Fajrin, Director of Digital Business of Telkom Indonesia. So first of all, I think this is a slide that many of you are familiar with, but just to rephrase the importance of Indonesia in global economy. We currently rank 7 in terms of GDP per PPP, purchasing power parity, in 2020, but it will be projected that Indonesia will be ranked 4 in 2045. So Indonesia will be the 4th largest economic country in the world. Now, what is more amazing for me is actually the right slide, that in the next 10 years, from 2020 to 2030, Indonesian GDP will grow about 1.5 times, or 50%, from 1 trillion to 1.6 trillion. But if you look at the Indonesia digital economy, it actually will grow 8 times, from 40 billion to 300 plus billion US dollar. So it is a really large opportunity. Now, SOE or state-owned enterprises are here to capture that value, especially us, Telkom Indonesia. Just for information, state-owned enterprises are actually comprises of 12 clusters, 12 industry clusters. So for example, energy, oil and gas, mineral and coal, plantation, and so on. And our company, Telkom Indonesia, is currently sitting at telco and media cluster. Currently, SOE contribution to the nation also increases from 27 to 2019 to the last 3 years from 75 billion US dollars to 80 billion US dollars. The contribution is in the forms of dividends, taxes, and other non-taxes revenues. So Telkom Indonesia, we are really happy to be here because it really relates with our industry. In terms of connectivity, we have 170,000 fiber optics, or more than 4 times Earth's circumferences. We have over 200,000 BTS. We have over 30,000 towers. We have more than 30 data centers across Indonesia. We also present in more than 10 countries outside Indonesia: Singapore, Hong Kong, US, and so on, as you can see here. Now, what I want to rephrase is that Telkom Indonesia is known as the biggest telco in Indonesia, but our vision goes way beyond telco. We call it a digital telco. So what is digital telco? If you remember, telco is usually deal with infrastructure or connectivity, right? So that's number one. And we will keep doing that. We recently merged our fixed and mobile connectivity into what we call a fixed mobile convergence initiative. That is number one. Number two, still related to the connectivity, we will also unlock the infrastructure company, which is the fiber company, in our business. Now, what we want to do is also moving towards what we call digital platform and digital service business. That's number 3, 4, and 5. In digital platform, for example, we are planning to set up DC or data center company. So we are in the process of doing so, and we're actually partnering with some regional telco or data center companies. And number 4, we are also developing a B2B digital IT company. And number 5, which I will explain more in the next few slides, is what we call Digico or digital company. So we call these initiatives or frameworks 5 bold moves because these are our focus in the next 1 or 2 years. So what is a Digico? Essentially, it's a digital business builder or venture builder company. We are incubating digital initiatives in SMEs, logistics, IoTs, and some sectors. Then, after the initiatives are successful, we will spin it off and also invite other partners or investors to grow this into hopefully becomes unicorns, decacorns, what else that you can name it of. So right now we have some incubation already happening. For example, I will explain some of them. Padi, which is on the left, is our B2B commerce, which connects SMEs on one side as a buyers, MSMEs, or micro, small, and medium enterprises, as a seller, with SOEs as a buyer. So right now we have over 90 SOEs join, over 90,000 MSMEs registered, with the GMV or transaction value over 300 million US dollars. Logi is our B2B fourth-party logistic platform. We have over 200 companies already joined, over 60,000 fleets, trucks, etc., and over 100 million in GMV. Antares is our IoT platform, and this is actually what we are showing in this event. Our booth is over there. We have over 60 partners join, over 14,000 users, and over 4 million revenue so far. We are also, this is something that I would like to highlight, especially to German counterparts. We are also digitizing the nation. For example, Peduli Lindungi is probably one of, if not the largest COVID handling platform situation in the world. We have over 100 million of Indonesian population registered in the system, and it's done all real time. So every time you get vaccinated, every time you get COVID testing, PCR test or antigen testing, it's done real time. So you can show your vaccine certificate or PCR testing certificate to everyone in the real time. We're also helping the Ministry of Education developing a platform for education, which is already used by over 1 million registered users, in this case, teachers. We are helping LKPP, which is a government procurement agencies. This is also something that we believe can increase the transparency in the government when they are doing procurement from vendors. Over 30 billion potential transaction will be recorded this year in 2023. And lastly, OSS, this is in short for online single submission. This is a platform that is used in Ministry of Investment in Indonesia that acts as a single platform for every business who wants to do business in Indonesia. So all of this are the proof that Indonesia is also transforming in terms of digitalization. So hopefully for German or other countries' counterparts who wants to do business in Indonesia, you will be more easily served with us so far going forward because we are doing more and more digitalization. Lastly, we believe that to help or to support this digital transformation done in our company or in Indonesia, talent is probably one, if not the most important sectors. So we believe that we also need to improve our talent, not just in our company, but also in Indonesia. This is something that we are also open to collaborate, and that's why later in the afternoon we will also share about our talent, but especially if you want to do a digital transformation, it's not enough for you to develop skill, but you also need to probably improve or increase your business process, doing agile, doing Scrum, etc., and also supported by a lot of platforms to do so. I saw some of the tenants here regarding HR system, etc., which I believe will support this. And as a proof of this transformation, we are proud that we have been recognized by Forbes and LinkedIn, among others, as one of the best employees in the world. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you. Looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Fajri. Yeah, giving complete about digital opportunity in Indonesia and about how telco become the role to initiate the growth digital in Indonesia. Thank you very much, Mr. Fajri. And then the third speaker will be presented by Mr. Daniel. Please, Mr. Daniel, the stage is on yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, first I would like to introduce our company. Name is PT Akebono Brake Astra Indonesia. We is brake manufacturing in Indonesia, located in the Jakarta city. So our company is joint venture between Astra Autopart Indonesia and Akebono Brake Industry Japan. We produce brake component for vehicle and motorcycle. We produce brake pad and brake pad and shoe lining for aftermarket. And the variant Akebono group make a variant product from heavy duty until bullet train. So if you're interested with our product, you can visit to our website. Yeah, our journey start from our dream, how to be number one brake manufacturing in Asia. So that's why in the 2007 we make program for wonderful company. We have 3 pillars. It is a wonderful plant, wonderful office, and wonderful people. But since we reflection in 2017, so requirement of global is different. So that's why we think we not enough our activity. So that's why we additional with new technology, IoT or digital transformation, and include connectivity. We have 6 pillars for that. Luckily, in 2018, government released and launched Making Indonesia 4.0. This is a good program from government. So we join assessment of Indi 4.0, and we join learning, workshop, seminar, and benchmark held by government. So that's why we can transfer our journey to digitalization. So that's why our top management put moving toward to Industry 4.0 as priority program for direction in the company. And we make a for leveling of the implementation Industry 4.0. So our target in the 2026, we can achieve level number 4. It means we can do like a smart factory. Yeah, we make a digital transformation roadmap. Yeah, we start from 2012 when we established and we built our office. Yeah, the concept is green and how we using safe and safe from paperless. So that's why we install a digitalization in our office. But 2017, we continue with how we visualize our monitoring achievement in the plan. And 2019, we continue to maintenance activity. And 2021, 2021 is very critical time when we achieve the COVID-19 pandemic, but our digital activity more intense, more advanced, because we control people, control information of the pandemic. So that's why we continue the digitalization in the not only for program and roadmap, we additional because we will control the people health pandemic situation. After that, now 2023, now we go to the Jitoga automation and how we integrated all data become our target in the 2026, we can become the smart factory. Yeah, our digital map, we start from when we receive the order from customer, until we buy the material from supplier, and how until we continue again how we can release invoice to customer. Yeah, we divide our history about horizontal data, and we divide become 4 cluster: smart production, smart quality, smart maintenance, and smart inventory. And we pick up to manufacturing information system as our ERP system. This is we make mapping of digitalization. How about the human or human capital or development? So we divide to three sector in the pyramid or organization. First is operation people, second in the middle management, and top management. In the operation people, the important is in the operation is how they keep standardization and follow our instruction, because people, this is a challenging of the Indonesian people, in our employee, that restriction of the change digital mindset is need to training to them to follow the instruction and standardization. In the middle management, we more take them to advanced creative and how they make a project ownership. So if they have idea on or problem solving and can solve by digital or IoT or Industry 4.0 technology, they will do in the middle of management, and IT like gate protection and executor. Top management just only make policy, investment approval, and review, and measure the goal achievement. From 4 cluster I already informed in the current. This is just only information how we make a smart production. Start from material information flow, from delivery until warehouse. So that's why we divide to 3 sector. This is a delivery, data get from the customer, and we put in the when delivery, when production, and make a production planning. After that, in the second is how we make inventory control and store. And number 3, how we control monitoring of OEE. About cluster number 2, about quality. So how the quality make help us operation. We change all device of the quality measurement. We change to digital, and we pick up the data from measurement and keep in the computer and put into the system. So that's why if now we looking the data for the quality, we can just only put the date, time, and line. So that's why we can find the data and very quickly. This is can cut our lead time of the looking the data of quality. In the maintenance, so how we do the some unknown, yeah. When the machine have trouble, currently operator call the maintenance, but now we change the if any problem, production call the maintenance by mobile. So that's why they can use in the mobile. He know when the land, where the land, when the land, and the maintenance guy will come to production line to repair it. And the smart inventory just how we make utilize the technology, RFID, barcode or Kanban. So that's why we can do the warehouse real-time inventory dashboard, warehouse rack application, and we using the RFID to calculate our inventory. And this is many element Industry 4.0. We try to use it and how we implemented it, and we select the technology. This is correct or not for our operation. And finally, from use and impact, we get many benefits, especially how we increase productivity, how we can increase efficiency to make our operation competitive. Yeah, that's all my explanation about our journey moving toward to Industry 4.0. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel, for the sharing the experience as the for the digital transformation applied in manufacturing. And then the last speaker will be Mr. Sasha. Please, Mr. Sasha, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I have the honor to take you on a journey of the company Siemens to Industry 4.0. I don't know how many of you know that Siemens was founded in 1847 with just 10 employees and a capital of around, today I would say 10,000 euros. Maybe just 8 years later, 168 years ago, we had the first appearance in today Jakarta in Indonesia by selling 12 electronic telegraphs. Today the company has more than 311,000 employees. This is only Siemens, it's not Siemens Energy. Looks like it's faster than me. It's only Siemens, it's not Siemens Energy or Healthineers. And we have made an incredible journey on this case. If you go back at the history, 176 years, it was a time when we had the first industrial revolution. It was the time where still steam power was on, so we worked in the companies. First real manufacturing started here. And the second industrial revolution was exactly the time where Siemens was founded with the electrification. So it was beginning 1860s, where the electrical generator and the industrial generators were really used. And along this way, and along all the industrial revolutions, and partly even leading these revolutions, we started the third revolution in the 1960s with the industrial automation. And yes, some years ago, the Industry 4.0 with the digitalization came into place. And I would like to give you some ideas, some insights, what happened here in our company and how we are using it. Today, if we are looking to manufacturing, and let me show you in the example of manufacturing how Industry 4.0 works for us. Today we have a global manufacturing footprint, and many of our factories are recognized at lighthouses from the World Economic Forum for sustainability, for digitalization, because we are trying to test new technologies on ourselves in our own factories before we are going out and discussing with you, with customers, with partners, how this could be used. One of our largest lighthouse, or the lighthouse, is our manufacturing place in Amberg, which is in the south of Germany. This is where we are producing the factory automation, the industrial automation. We are producing there on an area of around 10,000 square meters since many years and have around 1,200 employees. And this number is stable since the last 10 years. We have not increased this. And the same moment what we have done is we have 15 times more output on the same space, in the same factory, with the same people. And this is only possible with digitalization. I come to two examples how we are doing it. And at the same moment also, we just increased by 10% our energy consumption. So by having 15 times more output, 10% more energy consumption. And we reduced the defects per million to just 11. So a quality rate of far beyond 99.999%. So, and how we are doing this, and how is this, and this is as a digital lighthouse really recognized here, let me talk about it. The digital transformation for us has 3 core elements. One thing is for sure the people, because you have to take the people along. If you're changing, if you go the way on digitalization, you have to take the people with you. And digitalization is not a point to reach. Digitalization is a journey you're going. Because I can tell you after Industry 4.0 will come 5.0. And we are continuing this journey. And it is very important that from day one on, you build a community of experts, that you have open sharing with your people what you're going to do, and that you're offering also learning possibilities for everybody so that they can join you on this road, that nobody get lost. You have to look into your processes. I mean, the key thing is first, before you talk about applying technology, is look into your processes and tell us what you would like to achieve. Yeah, I mean, somebody who comes and say, I want to be Industry 4.0, I still don't know what to do. Yeah, but if you have a certain thing what you would like to achieve, then it's something we can talk about. So look into your processes, and then let us talk about the technology. And don't try in the first moment to apply everything. Do it in small pieces and small steps to reach the part. We have usually worked here on three lines. We looked on the factory acceleration, so we looked in which factory we want to apply new technology. We analyzed this together with our community of experts. We looked into the solutions, we looked into the availability of people, the solution platforms, and then really in the technologies which we want to bring into scaling. So sounds still a little bit theoretically, but let me use the last minutes to give you 2 examples. I spoke about quality, and to ensure a quality of 11 defects per million, you have to have a very thorough quality inspection of your products. So what we have usually done is, for example, after the PCB boards are finished, we have done an X-ray. X-rays are not only a costly thing, X-ray is also something which is slowing down the process. So if you want to grow 15 times in your output, yeah, you cannot afford to X-ray everything. But what we have done is, over the period, we capturing around 40,000 production parameters. And we are analyzing this with AI already quite some time. And we understand patterns, which PCB boards are for sure okay, which PCB boards may be okay, and which PCB boards definitely not okay. And out of this data, we do now decisions that we are X-raying only the PCB boards which are maybe okay. The ones which are for sure defect, we don't look in it anymore, which are for sure okay, we just give to the next step. With this, we were really able to speed up our process with having a higher quality. And this saved, I mean, it minimized the X-ray test by 30% in our manufacturing. We have currently a quality rate of 100% in this line. So there is nothing which is so far overseen. And reduce the investments. Besides speeding up of the manufacturing, we reduce the investments of around $500,000 just for one line in our production. Yeah. This is an example how digitalization can help with the use of latest technologies. A second example, I mean, now we have a PCB board, we know the PCB board is okay. If we go to the next step is the PCB boards have to be cut into pieces so that they are put into the products. And this is done with a PCB cutting machine. And you have to think it's like a driller, which is drilling the parts out of the PCB boards. And also this cutting machine will have at one point of time a defect. And the problem is here, if this is really breaks, it messes up everything and we have really a long time of maintenance to this machine. So what we have done is, we looked into parameters like the speed, the current, the temperature, vibration at the end of the day. And we are now able, with a 100% success rate, to identify early enough before this driller breaks. And with this, we are able to predict 2 days in advance, 100% sure, and we can change this PCB cutting machine or this driller right point in time, which is saving around 120,000 euros a year for avoided breakdowns of the machines. It is just by using data on a journey. And there are many, many more ideas we have in our factories. We are trying it out. And what we are doing after this is, when we are in a discussion with our partners, customers, we are really looking into it, how this could be applied also in other industries, how out of our own learning and with co-creation together, we can identify also such digitalization topics for the future. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sasha, for the explanation is giving us that the digital transformation giving the financial impact, not just the financial impact, but for the sustainability for the business in the future. So today we have the interesting 4 speakers, one from the regulator and then 3 representing the state owner and then multinational company and then foreign direct investment in Indonesia. Maybe from audience, if you have any question for our speaker, please raise your hand for the first time. I will open the 3 questions from the audience. So, is there any question from the audience? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the invitation and for the talk. I would like to know how did you manage in the first stage of the core that needs to be to be considered about the people. How do you get on the people into the digital transformation? It's about a program of skilling or education in the companies. Thinking about the people that it's over 40 years, for example, that might be frightened about this revolution.
Okay, maybe Mr. Sasha will be answer and then Mr. Daniel will be share the experience about how to manage the people regarding to digital transformation.
Okay, thank you very much for this question. I mean, the first point is, and the most important point is that you're openly communicating. So you have to talk about what you're going to achieve, what you want to achieve, and you don't have to hide anything. As soon as you start hiding something, there is always a bad feeling in the employees. So the second thing is we are normally identifying these early adopters in an organization who are really willing and interested to change things. Because not everybody is really interested in this. Some of them are more like settlers, so they are very highly motivated to keep things as they are. But what we are doing is we are identifying in the departments a few people who are really interested to do and try something new. And these are the people who are getting the first trainings. These are the people with whom we are making proof of concepts. But we are doing it with an open door policy from day one. So we let others look into this room and see what we are doing and also the successes. And with this, we are offering this trainings program then for everybody. It's freely available. We are giving the time for the people to go into trainings, so we are not stopping them from joining these trainings. And with this, over the time, more and more people joining this group of experts and group of transformation. And this is the way how we are doing it. And I can tell you, it is not a matter of age. It's sometimes even the younger people who would like to keep things as they are, and the older ones are the ones who are running in front.
Mungkin, maybe Mr. Daniel will be add some information, or Mr. Fajri, maybe you can add some point.
Yeah, about the people, about the transformation of digitalization. This is a big challenging for our company to teach and to change the mindset of the people. They must be transfer or transformation to digital. So that's why we do some training again to them, because and we in our factory they have some gap generation, the old generation and the young generation. But if I check when they do the digital transformation in the office or in the factory, they sometimes reluctant to change because they think the digitalization will change them. So that's why we say to them, this is not change them. This is just only help you work. So that's why we do this change philosophy their mindset to change their action. So if you see in our booth in the Akebono Brake Astra Indonesia booth in the front of this finishing, we do some like brake failure simulator. So that's why they can learn about how if they not make good brake, they can get dangerous sensational by VR. It means like, we introduce the technology, we introduce the device to them to help they working. Second option, we do some rewarding and punishment to them, because if they don't do by change digital, maybe system will stop. We need the consistency of they follow the standardization. That's all from our factory.
Please, Mr. Fajri.
Just to add, I have two frameworks related with the talent and digital transformation. The first, I think similar to Mr. Sasha, is people, process, and technology. So you need to ensure the capability within the people, but you also need to ensure the technology is correct, and also, more importantly, maybe, is ensuring the process is also relevant. So for example, just to give an example, let's say a technology of digital signature or e-signature. That's a really good technology. It really simplifies the process. But what if the process in the company, in your company, the SOP, etc., requires you for every document to be wet signature, hard copy, right? So technology is useless unless the business process, the SOP, is updated as well, so that it fulfills or it enables, it allows people to sign document electronically. So you need to ensure these three elements, people, process, and technology, runs in parallel. The second framework I'd like to highlight is the framework called build, buy, and borrow. So training internal people, training existing employees is what we call build, right? So you have existing employees. Previously, they don't know about AI, for example, and you train them with AI. You train them with, I don't know, the latest technology, NFT, etc., right? So you can do this, but maybe the speed is slow. Sometimes you need to be fast. So that's why you also need to consider whether you need to buy or borrow. Means whether you need to partner with companies or people who have the expertise in AI, for example, or you hire experts in AI. Hopefully, when you onboard these external people or company, then the knowledge is transferred to your company more faster.
Okay, thank you, speakers, for the explanation. So maybe we can continue for the second question. Is there any second question? Okay.
Thank you, Pak. My question is to dari Departemen Perindustrian, ya. If we show the statistic, it is very small, the company that ready to digital 4.0, only 15 from 1,000 of a company. So my question is, and this question also to Pak Pajrin, what government really do, that really impactful business to adopt this kind of technology. For example, in Indonesia, even buying electronic car, you got discount, 50 million. Yeah? But if you buy motorcycle, you got 7 million. But what company will get from the government? What government really incentive, driving force to make B2B adopt this digital very fast, very fast, very effective. Yeah. Otherwise, we cannot compete. Yeah. We cannot compete. Just see what Siemens implementing and what we do talking 4.0 is Indonesia is very basic. Yeah. So the question then to Pak Fajrin is, if you can ask one thing from government, what it will be to make this 4.0 is really impactful in Indonesia, because in Indonesia it is a little bit something like government using state-owned to push this, but state-owned is business entity look after for profit. I also like to hear from Pak Daniel, any government help to your company when you're doing this transformation. Thank you very much.
Okay, Pak Ali Murtopo, will be answer. Please, Pak Ali.
Thank you, Pak, for your question. I think previous I'm in Ministry of Industry. Now I'm coordinating economic, and I think my friend from Ministry of Industry will help you to answer the question. But I know today Ministry of Industry very eager to pursue the company to adopt the Industry 4.0, and still under discussion to prepare the incentive. It's right, Pak Heru ya. Nanti you can explain to our colleagues what the Ministry of Industry already done to support the company to implement the technology for Industry 4.0. And I think there's not a limited number of company in 5 years, in 4 years, right? From zero, we already do our effort in our limitless. About maybe for 1,000 company ya Pak Heru ya already implement the assessment for Indi 4.0. Ya Pak Heru? Okay. That's my answer, Pak. Thank you.
Okay, maybe Mr. Fajri will be share the experience about the question.
Yeah, I think in general, regarding with regards to business, I think the role of government is essentially regulation and incentive, right? So regulation meaning that it connects to what I mentioned before about the people, process, and technology framework, so that the process hopefully can be simplified through digitalization or Industry 4.0, right? Meaning that if the business needs to do license, etc., with the government, then hopefully the regulation makes it simpler going forward. And I think that's something that is in progress, right? So that's something that I see is an improvement compared to many years ago. So I think I need to appreciate the government on that. Of course, can still be improved going forward in terms of the process. So for example, right now, maybe regarding certain business permit or licenses, need to ask certain government ministries, right? So it would be good if there is only like a one, parties with regards to the business of or license. Now the second, I think regarding the incentive, so that's also something that I believe it's already starting, right? So for example, if the industry is implementing IoT, they actually get incentive, right? Because we in Telkom Indonesia are actually helping some companies doing digital transformation in IoT. So for example, in the manufacturing through power, automation, etc. So the companies who are implementing this is actually getting incentives from the government. So that's something that I think is good and can be continued or maybe improved to other sectors going forward.
Okay, please, Mr. Daniel, maybe you can add some point.
Yeah, for industry, example like us, we want to moving toward to Industry 4.0 is because we want to meet global requirement and we will meet the competitiveness. So I think we appreciate with making Indonesia 4.0 because in this program we can learn, we can follow and benchmark to company already success to transformation, digitalization, because we know they get big benefit. So that's why we must be achieve our competitiveness and follow the technology. Yeah, we happy if any incentive from government. So when we invest of the technology, same as you say, Pak, when we buy electric vehicle, get some discount from government. This is very happy if we can get this. But we not looking that incentive, but we looking that competitive competency teach by government to us to, oh, this is technology can help you make our company more productivity. This is, thank you.
Maybe I can add some point regarding to the minister role of the digital transformation industry 4.0 because I involved some event from the industry. I believe Minister of Industry is some partner to digital transformation and his partner and assessment, giving the assessment and then how to change from the analog to digital transformation itself. So yeah, please, any question?
Thank you, Pak, for the opportunity, Pak Ali. Okay, one question from me. I'm Jujanto from Polytron, Indonesia. So, during Pak Ali time as a director of IIT, we have rolled lots of company transforming into 4.0, that time Indie 4.0. So, I think it's about 25 to 50, including one is us. So, the next what we urge to government is continue to nurturing us as a company and the government. So hand in hand together. Because I think Pak Fajrin now in here, so I think it's about time for Telkom to step up full throttle to prepare the cloud, Pak. So usually we use AWS and etc. So it will be good if our own countrymen, Telkom, will be step into. So all our data that's stored on the cloud will be safely on Telkom area. That's my question and thank you.
Okay, Mr. Fajri.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. And it is indeed one of our 5 bold move strategy, as I mentioned. So just to make it clear, in terms of the digital platforms, some of the focused businesses that Telkom Indonesia is developing going forward includes data centers, and as a natural part or natural extension of the centers are cloud businesses. And this is something that is important as well because Indonesia just also implements the law regarding data privacy protection, which I believe in some parts also learned from the European GDPR. So that actually brings local or a national cloud provider, including us, an advantage, right? Because some of the important data are needed to be stored locally in Indonesia, right? So that is something that is in progress, Pak. Thank you for the question. And obviously we will keep you updated in terms of the progress.
Yeah, before I open the question, maybe I can ask Mr. Sasha. Mr. Sasha, can you sharing your experience as the industry in Germany that what kind of the government rule regarding to for the company to implement it for the digital transformation in Germany?
Yeah, okay. It is not a question really of incentives what we are looking for. For us, it's very important the topic of education. If you want to drive Industry 4.0, you need people. On one hand, you have a workforce which you can upskill and which you have to upskill, but especially for the new jobs coming up with data analysts, with AI, with app development, we need a lot of new people from the universities graduating in these kind of roles. And this is something where we have very intensive talks with the government, not only in Germany, also in other countries, to work together how we can ensure that we have the workforce for tomorrow ready. Because it's not that digitalization is taking any jobs away, it is generating a bunch of new jobs. And I think it is the responsibility of the government and the industry together to define the roles for the future and also to work together to achieve this.
Thank you, Mr. Sasha. I think it's more clearly right now. I think government needs how to make the digital talent. I think Mr. Faji already mentioned previously that I think this is the challenge. So while we wait from the audience, maybe I can ask to the Mr. Ali Murtopo. Pak Ali, pardon. Pak Ali Murtopo, maybe you can share your point of view. Is there any threat or the opportunity regarding to the Indonesia 4.0 or digital transformation applied in Indonesian manufacturing?
Thank you, moderator. I think if we look at my slide at seventh slide, there's an opportunity. Our GDP will rise 1 to 2%. Seventh slide.
Slide.
And as my presentation, making Indonesia 4.0 is a backbone for digitalization and to enhance productivity and competitiveness of industry in Indonesia.
Done.
Yeah.
Please wait, Pak. I think is some technical problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seventh slide. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Making Indonesia 4.0.
No.
Up. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. GDP grow. Indonesia has a target become a 10 economy best. Yeah, best economy in 2030. It's our opportunity, and we must moving forward for making Indonesia 4.0. And I think our president already stayed in this forum yesterday. Thank you.
Okay, it's now more clearly now that the digital transformation will be create more opportunity to develop more and create more job. But it's more clearly that we need the educational factor to chase the digital transformation itself. So, is there any question from the audience? Okay, maybe while wait the question from the audience, we'll be continue with the question for Mr. Fajri. Mr. Fajri, what is the real key benefit of telecom digital transformation initiative, both for the company and then for the Indonesian economy for the whole?
Yeah, I think first of all to telecom itself, digitalization brings two main benefits. The first is actually improving existing business, right? Through digitalization, we can improve, for example, the way we act, the way we solve complaints from the customers. So improve customer experience, which in turn we hope will improve the business performance, right? Digitalization is also about, I think, like what Mr. Sasha also explained, improving cost efficiency, capex efficiency of the production. So that's something that we see in Telecom Indonesia also happens because of digitalization. The second benefit is actually digitalization is not only improving existing business process by reducing capex, etc., but it also creates new business opportunities. So the business that previously didn't exist because of digitalization. So for example, now we are expanding into, as mentioned before, data centers, cloud, AI business, big data, Internet of Things, application, digital application, and so on. So this is previously a business that we previously didn't have, right? So, and I think this will be similar to other countries as well. So in terms of digitalization, you need to ask yourself, will this digitization improve my business process? How it can improve? Can I track that? Can I measure that in terms of the efficiency of cost, capex, etc.? Or will this bring new revenue, new opportunity that previously didn't exist? So that's, I guess, the importance or the benefit of digitalization or digital transformation to the company. Whereas for the nation, I think it's similar, but of course, obviously, it's not about improving a cost or something, but improving the service to the citizens or business in this case, right? So for example, our recent collaboration with the Ministry of Health in terms of creating a Peduli Lindungi, which is the COVID track platform. Through that, we believe that we actually, one of the success of Indonesia in dealing with the pandemic is because of the digitalization. Because through digitalization, we know now where the COVID situation already happens, where the vaccine is needed, etc. And that's possible because of digitalization. The second is provide transparency, right? Because through digital, all of the transaction, all of the activities are saved, are tracked in a transparent way, making it more efficient. So that's the benefit for the country, and that's the reason why, as an SOE, Telkom is also happy to support the government to provide more digital transformation or digital service in the focus of the government when dealing with the citizens or businesses.
Thank you, Mr. Fajri. It's very clear how the Telkom role to digital transformation in Indonesia. So maybe I can, okay. Yeah, please, Pak.
Thank you. My name is Imam Birawa. I'm manager in Airbus industry. One of my question is, we are talking about digital transformation. For me, it comprises also the infrastructure. Yeah? And there is where we got a problem. I used to put some work package to outsourcing, and we have a very good communication on the digital link with India. I would like to know how good it is now, the infrastructure in Indonesia, in terms of if we are dealing with giving some work package in digital form. Maybe some of you can give me some pictures or the possibility to maybe to establish something here. Thank you.
Okay, maybe Mr. Fajri, as a biggest telco in Indonesia.
So first of all, Indonesia is the largest archipelago country in the world, right? So that brings a challenge. So for example, we have, if I'm not mistaken, 17,000 plus islands. So it's not easy to connect to those remote islands, especially, right? But that's what we do. We in Telkom Indonesia and also other telco providers are actually working with the government to provide win-win solution. So for the areas, be it islands or whatever in Indonesia, that is still good for business, meaning that there are still a lot of people there, then we, the business, the private parties, who are doing the investment to provide the infrastructure there, right? Because it still makes sense for the business. Where if the area is so remote, if there is an island where only maybe 10 of people lives there, and it's usually the job of the government. In this case, the government has a body named Bhakti under the ICT ministry whose job is to do that. One of the job is to do that, to provide the infrastructure in these remote aliens. So Bhakti, in this case government, are working together with us. We communicate frequently, in terms of where should we put the infrastructure. And I believe that, yes, we are still lagging with some developed countries like probably German and others, but we are catching up. We recently in Telkom Indonesia, for example, in Telkom, in one of our subsidiaries, Telkomsel, already introduced 5G in some in some selected areas in Jakarta and also in like mining sites, etc. Because one of the use cases of 5G is actually in B2B mining, construction, and stuff, right? So in some mining areas in Indonesia, now the connectivity is already in 5G. So we are, I would say we are already good enough, not great yet, but we are improving steadily.
You want to add some point, Mr. Sasha, please?
Yeah, maybe let me add something. I mean, it sounds a little bit that digitalization is only connectivity.
Yeah.
I mean, connectivity is definitely a part of it, but not everything. I mean, every company have to see why they are following, why they want to go for digitalization. To improve the quality, to be more resilient, to have more faster product changes, to adapt latest technologies, and the company itself not requires always 5G everywhere. Yeah? It is also something what the company is doing for themselves to be stronger in the global competition, to be more resilient in this market today. So maybe just to add here.
Yeah. Thank you for the add some point, Mr. Sasha. So maybe is there any question from the audience? Please raise your hand. Okay, while wait the question from the audience, maybe I will ask to Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel, what is the key challenge for the organization that decided to implement digital transformation, especially in manufacturing?
Yeah, the big challenge is in the factory and the manufacturing about the transformation to digital is people, employee. Yeah. Same as I explained that they have some gap between old generation and young generation, and basically, yeah, they worry their work will replace by automation or digitalization. So that's why they have some resistance to change. So that's why this is we teach them, we make education from them, but that the technology is not replace them. The technology is help their work more productivity. So that's why this is we teach by training to them, because yeah, not very easy to change my digital mindset to them. But actually, they can order by digital, like order food, order transportation by digital. But why they not want to use the digital in the factory? And second, about the technology we will use. This is need some, yeah, because many technology, and we will select which correct can effective utilize in our factory. So that's why we built one room, and this we call IoT lab. This is our engineering, our maintenance, our production, and our IT in the same room, and please discuss which technology can help the operation. Basically, from them some idea, and they will try the some technology for production. We try in this lab first. In the lab, okay, can utilize in the production line. So we install in the production line. So that's why we need from people, technology combined, and our target is how we can increase the productivity. Is factory manufacturing is the target is how we increase productivity. That's all.
Okay, so it's more clearly that the people have the important role when we decided to digital transformation. It's not all about the what the technology that we will use. Okay, please.
Hi, my name is Donald. I'm with venture capital under telecom. My question is about the. I understand that people is very first thing you need to worry about. But the second one, as you mentioned, is technology. How accessible is the technology that will take these industry in Indonesia specifically to get ready to be ready for 4.0 or even implement 4.0 from where they are right now, Pak? As you said, you now have to have your own room where you test your, Pak Daniel, when you test your IT, yeah. But I think there is a lot of technology we see available here and consultants and whatever that ready to take you to 4.0. But how accessible are there in Indonesia from your point of view? And maybe, sir, from what providers out there that is going around, or maybe from Siemens itself to go around in Indonesia to provide this kind of services. Also, Mas Fajrin, maybe share some from our side as well. Thank you.
Okay, Pak Daniel, please.
Yeah, technology which we select is basically technology can adopt for manufacturing, Pak. Example, simple technology like sensor or QR code. This can help us to calculate automatically the product or in the store inventory. So that's why we not think the more advanced technology, but basically we will try the technology can adopt in our production line or not. Basically, we want to say to our employee, but that technology not replace them, but the technology can help them. Example, as I explained in my presentation about the quality measurement, Pak. Quality measurement, we just change the manual device to digital device. And digital device will connect it to computer, software, and software will connect it to our server. So that's why when currently they just only measure and calculate in the paper, after in the paper they put in the computer, this is need more long time. So that's why they now only measure, click, and data will record it and put in the system. This can make cut and reduce the lead time of the quality. Yeah, but we try advanced technology like VR. We use for their training about the how if they not make good product, the product will make dangerous situation. Because our company is make brake is safety component for vehicle. Like drone, we try to use a technology drone to deliver part just only for maintenance part from our warehouse to another building. This is just, yeah, which technology can adapt and can help the operator. Example like IoT. IoT currently production, they must be write the result of output every hours by write in the paper. Now they no need write the paper. We can take the data from machine and we go and put in the monitor and they can see the result achievement of OEE. Yeah, this is like simple technology we can use and basically can help us to increase the productivity. Thank you, Pak.
Okay, Mr. Fajri, you want to add some point?
Yeah, I think if we talk about Industry 4.0 in general, we as an Indonesian companies definitely need technology from abroad as well, from German, US, China, and more developed countries, because they have more use cases. They probably have longer experience than us, but maybe the technology needs also to be tailored to the local context, right? So for example, I mentioned that in Indonesia, you have a lot of islands, archipelago, different than most of Europe or US, which is one single land, right? So maybe there are some difference in technology, or there are some tailor-made solution that needs to be developed together. That's why I believe one of the also keyword related with the Industry 4.0 digitalization is collaboration. We cannot do everything. We cannot build everything together. There are a lot of ways that we need to collaborate with parties, vendors, partners, investors, etc. And that is also the reason why Telkom Indonesia here in this event in Hannover Messe are also trying to find partners. We in fact will have 2 MOUs signed today and tomorrow. So grateful for that and look forward again to other collaboration that we can develop in the future.
You want at some point, please, Mr. Sasha?
Yeah, I mean, the question was, is the technology available? I can assure you the technology is available. This is not a question. What we are seeing very often is how ready you are to use this technology. Because if you have on one hand the technology, on the other hand, you don't have this team who is ready to use this, it doesn't help. So actually it starts with the question what you want to solve. And there are companies like Siemens and other companies available in Indonesia to help you, to consult you on this journey. Yeah? The technology is there, consult you on this journey, but it ends at the end again in the learning. Because you have to have a team in hand and you have to train a team to adapt this technology and to use this technology in your companies.
Yeah, maybe I just want at some point. I think in Indonesia we have so many access currently for the updated technology. We don't have any difficulty to access which one vendor or which one is technology provider itself. But maybe already explained by Mr. Sasha and Mr. Fajri, but how ready to people to implement it, and then maybe needed a tailor-made, because one solution may be applied to the other, maybe not applied with us, not working with us. So it's more needed for the tailor-made. So for when we needed a tailor-made, I think we still less of the digital talent and for the system integration in Indonesia. That's maybe a challenge for digital transformation in Indonesia from my point of view. So is there any question from the audience? Okay, while we wait the question from the visitor or the audience, I will ask to the Mr. Sasha. Mr. Sasha, based on your experience, how can especially a mid-sized company start the digital transformation? What will be the first step?
Okay, I mentioned it maybe earlier already, but let me come back to this point. The first step is you have to define what you would like to achieve with digitalization. Yeah. So what is really your goal? And the second step after you know what you would like to achieve is don't try to solve everything. Yeah. Start with something which shows to your staff, to your people, and to your management, of course, because they are the investors, that technology will help and Industry 4.0 will help. So start with a small thing, execute it, but when you start with a small thing, always keep the whole way in mind. So don't try to work on island solutions. So you need to have certain standards in your communication, you need certain standards in your databases so that you can scale from this solution to the others. But at the end of the day, if you really look to what Industry 4.0 all can do, every small company will be shocked and say, okay, wow, this I can't afford and I can't handle. So therefore, try to figure out what is your biggest pain point and let's start exactly there.
Okay, maybe any other some point you want to add, Mr. Daniel? Okay, or Mr. Fajri? Okay. So, is there any question from the audience? Yeah, Pak, please.
Thank you, moderator. Mr. Sasa, I want to know about your experience. What do you think about the industry when they implemented about the Industry 4.0? They think this is investment or cost? Maybe you have experience about when they discuss with another industry. This is they think about the investment or the cost, because this is significant to industry to follow about the Industry 4.0. Thank you.
Okay. If you think or if your calculation at the end of the day shows that going the road for Industry 4.0 only brings cost without benefits to you, then don't do it. I mean, there's no use of doing it. At the end of the day, Industry 4.0 should do something to your company, enhance your quality, make you more competitive in the market, or is opening new markets for you which you can access, or makes you faster or more resilient. And at this point of time, you have immediately a benefit. One thing which we are seeing at the moment very much is, and we heard it also from Indonesia, it is carbon neutrality. So to become carbon neutral, you need first to know where you're spending your carbon, where your carbon comes from. And this means you need to collect data to make data-driven decisions at the end of the day how to reduce it. And this is already a benefit which you may not feel today, but as soon as there's a carbon tax in place, you will feel very fast how this data which you're generating can help you to save also costs. And with this, then digitalization pays off.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sasha, for the explanation. Okay. And? Okay. Okay, is there any question from the visitor? Okay, please. Saya pikir pertanyaannya dikit Pak, dari tadi banyak.
Terima kasih. Hello, everyone. I'm Malagi from SAP, and I'm listening and hearing an awful lot about the need for collaboration, the need to choose your biggest pain point, etc. But I'm curious, for a business such as yours, there are so many different areas where you could start. And I'm curious as to whether you think there's one area that can benefit more from Industry 4 compared to other parts of your business.
I think maybe Mr. Sasha or Mr. Daniel or Mr. Faji can share the opinion about this question, that which area it will be giving the big impact to implement it, the digital transformation. Is there maybe from the quality side, or maybe from the supply chains, or maybe from the process? Please, anyone can share the experience. Mr. Sasha, please.
Okay, I mean, definitely the companies which are benefiting first from Industry 4.0 are these who are having a global footprint or working in more than one country. These are the ones who have to compete with other global companies who are maybe already ahead or behind in Industry 4.0. I think these are the first ones. But what we see in the meanwhile, that the challenges, I mean, climate neutrality, we have changes in the supply chains, there's more localization instead of globalization, is putting a lot of pressure on the resilience of companies. So at this point of time, I'm struggling to say which is the first or the biggest one, because I see that Industry 4.0 or digitalization at the moment is going into all the industries.
Okay, or Mr. Daniel?
Yeah, the biggest benefit we get from technology introduced by Industry 4.0 is IoT, IoT connection. So IoT will bring the data from production line, and show up and calculate OEE. So this is useful information for management to take quick action and correct decision to manage the operation. So that's why when we know the information, we can make quick decision. And example, if line production stop, so currently just only waiting the maintenance guy coming to repair the machine. But now, just only click and check the mobile in the maintenance guy, they know, oh, this line is problem. So that's why with the quick action, we can increase the productivity. Yeah, and another improvement, like we using a SCADA technology, we can just only currently changing over is need more long time, and we just only using the QR code This is all parameter will change very fast. So in the manufacturing is important is cycle time, Pak. If cycle time can short, this is make big output, big productivity. Yeah, this is one.
Mr. Fajri, you want to add some point?
Yeah, I believe IoT, especially if it's equipped or embedded with AI, will be one of the biggest sectors as well, or solution. We in Telkom Indonesia are also developing the IoT platforms, especially for business or industry solutions. The key is again to find the customer pain points, right? So because we cannot just implement technology for the sake of technology. For example, last year there is a trend of metaverse, and then everyone is doing metaverse. And then when asked, okay, why do you build metaverse? Okay, because everyone is doing it, right? So it's not about the technology, but it's about whether technology actually helps you achieve your goal, right? The objective, be it brings more revenue if it's about new business, or again making the existing business more efficient, right? So Sasha, for example, mentioned that one of the example that he cut costs 120,000 euros, right? That the goal, that the objective. You need to be able to measure when you implement the technology, you need to be able to measure whether the technology actually meets your goal or not. You need to be able to measure that. In a Google or other digital technology, we call this objective and key results, or OKRs, right? So that's something that we also try to implement in Telkom Indonesia. So that's also something that we need to communicate when we are trying to develop IoT solutions for the clients. Because we need to be able to convince them that, look, if you implement this IoT solution from us, you will, I don't know, save 100,000 US dollars or whatever, because it will make your business process more efficient. So I guess that's the key, not about the technology, but also about the measurement of the technology solution to the customers.
Thank you, Mr. Fajri. So is there any question? If didn't have any question from the visitor, I will be end for this session. Thank you very much for the all speaker, Mr. Ali Murtopo, Mr. Fajri, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Sasha. Thank you for the explanation. I hope this session giving clear about the Indonesian opportunity, about digital growth in Indonesia, about how transform the digital transformation in manufacturing. So before I end it, this session, for the all speaker, please remind to sit it. Okay, Pak. Thank you, Pak Heru. Some for souvenir from industry minister. Oh, thank you banget, Pak. Thank you, Pak Heri. Okay.